Finally, CU has a defensive coordinator. What might he bring to the table? Plus, Warren Sapp is officially coming. How did they get it done? And more. Coming at you next. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Buffs News Weekly, your weekly recap of all University of Colorado football news. I am your host, Russ Dornish. Make sure to hit that like, comment, and of course, subscribe as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Without further ado, let's jump right in. First up is the big news of the week that Colorado has hired Bengals defensive backs coach Robert Livingston to be their defensive coordinator this season. Livingston was a surprise for most Buff fans as his name was never brought up in possible DC conversations. So, let's break down what he might possibly bring to the table, as well as what are the possible negatives to the hire. I'll also give you my own opinion on what I think of it and where I think the Buffs will go with Livingston.
Always said right person, right place. So obviously you talked about Coach Prime, and as I drove in here today, I think I found both of them. So.
Livingston coached with the Bengals for 9 seasons, while also spending 2 years scouting the SEC and ACC for the Bengals in 2012 all the way through 2014. He played football at William & Mary College, which has produced a plethora of coaches, including Mike Tomlin and Sean McDermott, to name a few. During his time with the Bengals, Robert was well known for his ability to develop defensive backs, playing large roles in the development of Von Bell, Jesse Bates, and ex-Colorado Buffalo, Chidobe Awuzie. For some comments that the players have made, Livingston is well-liked and has a great football mind. If Livingston implements a similar defense to that he served under with current defensive coordinator for the Bengals, Lou Anarumo, who many consider one of the better DCs in the NFL, CU can come to expect a few different scheme ideas from him, and watching Bengals tape, you get an idea for what we may see from the Buffs next season. The Bengals D is known for being flexible in personnel, and they really like to play a lot of cover 2 and cover 3 zone defense. One thing you always see the Bengals cover well is the crossing routes on short and intermediate. As Buff fans know, that was one of the biggest issues that we had last season. If you would like to take a deeper dive into the Bengals defense and how it operates, click on the link above to a video breakdown by Buffed in Prime. Now for some of the negatives that his hire could bring. The largest drawback to this hire is Livingston has never called defensive plays before. The biggest part of the DC position. He also does not have much recruiting experience either. Not carrying a big name or experience could be viewed negatively in defensive recruits' eyes. Now, as for what I think about this hire, I'd like to say a few things in regards to those negatives. Every DC has started somewhere, and the fact he hasn't called plays is not something I'm going to hold against him. I believe in the fact that Livingston has coached with the Bengals for 9 seasons through several coaching changes, which actually speaks volumes to how much the Bengals and players alike respected him. In a sport where coaches are fired constantly, that longevity is huge. Then, getting to coach under Lou Anarumo also should benefit if he implements the Bengals' current schemes, which I think would be a big benefit to CU. What do you think of the hire of Robert Livingston to the Buffs? In other news, Warren Sapp sat down with DNVR Buffs this past week at the Super Bowl and finally put to rest whether he was coming to coach or not. Sapp had this to say.
So you said March is kind of the goal?
March is when I'm coming.
You're coming?
That's what I was told.
Stamp it.
That's what Prime said.
All right.
So,
if he said it.
So if Prime tell me I'm coming in March, then stamp it, right?
Yes.
So I'm stamping it.
We're stamping it.
My bags are packed. I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's go,
man. We're excited to have you in both. That's amazing, man. Hey, before we let you go, I got to know, what's going to be on your business card when you join the staff? Warren Sapp, what's going to be under there? What's your title going to be?
Oh, General Graduate Assistant. I got to go.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, man.
I got to start at the bottom.
Now, with Sapp saying that he will be a graduate assistant, I want to circle back to the USA Today article that talked about the troubles Sapp would have in being hired at CU. I believe that now that we know that Sapp is going to be a GA instead of directly on the coaching staff, this is a way to avoid those past troubles. As a graduate assistant, Sapp will not technically be considered an employee of the state of Colorado and instead is a student who is working for credits and stipends. This would avoid the need for the state to approve his hiring and possibly deny his background check as a result. I believe this could allow Sapp time to prove to administration and the state what a great hire he is, even with his troubled past, and possibly allow for them to make an exception with this hire. GAs have a 7-year countdown that begins once they are hired and must take some courses during that time. We look forward to seeing Sapp on staff and what he can do for players like Torian Carter and Chidozie Nwankwo. Outside of Sapp, CU has also confirmed the rest of the coaching staff moves, with Pat Shurmur officially being announced by the school as the OC, Phil Lodeholt as the O-line coach, Jason Phillips as the new wide receivers coach, Brett Bartolone as the tight ends coach, and Vincent Dancy moving from his current position to the new outside linebackers coach. We still don't have word on the status of Sal Sinceri yet as D-line coach, but we will update you if anything develops. What are your thoughts on all of these hirings and Sapp finally saying that he'll be joining the staff this March? This past week was the final national signing day of the year, and Colorado officially added 2 more high school players. Kieran Garcia is a 3-star linebacker out of Fort Myers, Florida, and Gage Goldberg, son of famous wrestler and pro football player Bill Goldberg, also signed on as a preferred walk-on. Both players add more depth in the linebackers room for CU, which is desperately needed. Now for the fan follow of the week, and it's a great one. Go follow ScoBuffs Memes over on Twitter. This account, of course, posts buff memes like this one. Look at that cat. Look at that. And this?
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Woo!
It's an awesome, entertaining, and fun follow for any Buff fan, so make sure you find them, give them a follow, and let them know that Buffs News Weekly sent you. That's all for this week. Thank you so much, as this week we hit 150 subscribers on YouTube on our march to 1,000. So make sure you like this video and subscribe. Of course, comment and let us know what you think about all the topics. For Buffs News Weekly, I'm Russ Dornish. ScoBuffs.